right, so let's talk about menopause. I want to talk to you and say to you things that nobody ever said to me that would have radically changed my life. And I'm thankful that I figured this out as I was going along and I was able to make some changes. So if you are over the age of 35, you're going to be going through perimenopause. You're going to be going through changes. And now that I've been coaching for women a long time, I know that these changes are only going to get harder. The more you can dial in what you're eating so that your cravings aren't, crazy, that you're able to really get a handle on the symptoms well before the time when menopause starts, the better. You're just going to be so much better off. So right now I'm 50, almost 52, and I'm just now stepping into menopause, out of perimenopause and into menopause. Like I'm in that, I'm exiting kind of thing. So I've not had my cycle for a couple of months. I went for a good 6 months and then surprise. But the symptoms I'm experiencing now, I believe, are profoundly, how do I want to say this? The symptoms are muted relative to that of women my age who do not eat, who did not clean up their eating the way that I didn't know this. Like when I started doing all of this, it wasn't because I was like, oh, I have to plan for menopause. No, but I want you to know this so that you can plan for menopause. Okay, so my symptoms right now, I get a hot flash like a couple of times throughout the course of the day. Girl, you don't even know what a hot flash is like until you've had a hot flash. It's not like just, oh, you get warm. No, it's like all of a sudden everything about you is sweating and boiling hot and you have to like take off jackets and things. And then, that little bit of sweat, now you're frozen. So there's that, right? The bigger symptom for me that is a non-negotiable is sleep. I have a lot of sleep disruption and I do something that I call, when I wake up at 1 a.m, to get myself back to sleep. I call it sitting on the porch with Jesus. And it's when I prayed and asked God, show me how to get back to sleep. And he kind of gave me this. That's a different video. But my sleep is disrupted. That's the biggest thing right now. And so I've decided I'm going to look into hormone replacement therapy. Thankfully, I don't have extreme mood, a lot of anger. I don't have extreme cravings, things like that. I was able to really mitigate a lot of that. But right now for me, the sleep is it's non-negotiable. The other part of it is, why my sleep is disruptive is because in the middle of the night, I will get a hot flash or a night sweat where all of a sudden I'm just burning up and even the smallest of like a sheet is way too much. And that discomfort in the temperature of the room wakes me. So I'm going to be exploring. I'll be sharing everything that I find out. I'm going to go for blood work here in a couple of weeks and I'll find out more information. So stay tuned. If you're stepping into menopause, let's, share what works. Some of the things I've also found that mitigate some of the symptoms are spicy foods. I don't eat a lot of spicy foods, certainly not before bedtime. I also have found that if I cut off eating about 3 or 4 hours before bed, my sleep is better. I've also learned that if I have, I really have to reduce liquids for about 2.5 hours before I go to bed. Otherwise, just the least amount of, fullness in my bladder and it will totally wake me up. Around 3 o'clock or so, because I go to bed like at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Around 3 o'clock, I have a hot tea and a decaf hot tea. And I put collagen and MCT oil in it and stevia. And I love that. And I have found that really has helped to mitigate sleep. I've also started taking about 10 milligrams of melatonin before bed. These things are helping. So if hormone replacement therapy is not an option, these things might be an option for you. Maybe I'll do another video and talk to you a little bit about sitting on the porch with Jesus, what that means, what it looks like, and how it's helping me. I hope this helps you. Let me know if it does.